Hello, welcome back to the channel. It's me, Emmy the Cat Lady, and you join me here in the capital Wasteland for another Wasteland biography. So, we're here outside Jury Street Metro Station, and we're going to talk about a man who's trying to improve the food supplies. So, fresh food's pretty scarce in the Wasteland, especially in the capital Wasteland. Obviously, with the wildlife being much larger than before the bombs, hunting them for their meat is a reasonable option. So in Jury Street Metro Station here, we can encounter a man with a plan to cash in. He's been experimenting with Molerat meat and trying to make it taste better, because apparently it doesn't actually taste that good. So he is working on a way to improve that. So you can find him here in the metro station, as well as a bunch of stuff. So there's Dean's Electronics here, bottle cap mine at the workbench. So it's honestly potentially worth your while just coming in for that. But you can see this metro station's pretty poor. It's collapsed and you can't really get anywhere on the lines in this station because the tunnels have collapsed a lot as well. So we've got an old train here. There is also some raiders here. So the guy that we're talking about is actually part of the, well, kind of allied with the raiders, so he is automatically hostile to you no matter what. So just something to bear in mind. I've turned combat AI off just so that there's less drama happening while we investigate. But we come downstairs and we can head down here. So again, there's more kind of beds and supplies, chems as well, typical, you know, raider base stuff. More collapsed tunnels. Oh, hello. Yeah, we're just normal raider. And now you're gone. But yeah, you can see the station's in a bit of state. So it's on the blue line, so Jury Street that way, and then something else this way. So I'm gonna head down. More collapsed tunnels. And we want to go in here into the Jury Street tunnels, so it's actually the tunnels that we want rather than the station. There he is. So yep, this is Ryan Brigg. He has the plan to improve the taste of Molerat meat, but he is kind of in the raider faction, so he's hostile no matter what you do. So you can't really talk to him about his experiments, but we can learn a few things from his journal. And we can also see we've got Pumpkin, which is a, well, the Molerat might be just not aggressive because I've got Animal Friend on this character, but we can see some Molerats. We've got living Molerat called Pumpkin, and we've got some deceased ones, some blood packs, Wonder Glue, and Molerat meat. So we'll get on to the details of that in just a second. And then he's got a bed here, so lying congressional style, hard lock safe. But yeah, so this is Ryan Brigg. I say normally you would have to kill him. You can see he's wearing sort of Wasteland,
I got first call on the goods.
Wasteland Doctor outfit and a combat shotgun by the looks of things. So I'm just gonna, because he's just gonna keep talking if I don't. And that's kind of annoying. Right. Yep, so combat shotgun. He drops a finger, so if you have the Lawbringer perk, he does drop a finger, which means that he's not considered a good guy. But he does have combat shotgun as well, and the Wasteland Surgeon outfit that does boost your medicine skill a little bit, if that's something that you want. Oh, there we go, light on. I might put that on actually, just why not? There we go. Oh yeah, that looks fantastic with a ghoul mask. Okay. Anyway, yep, so there's also a Nuka-Cola Quantum, so if you're doing the Nuka-Cola challenge, but let's have a look at his terminal. So this... Okay, so we've got archived journal entries and recent journal entries. So archived journal entries, corruption detected, and then recent journal entries. So this is his most recent journal entry. Attempt number 173. I've finally done it. Who would have thought that the simple combination of Molerat meat and Wonder Glue would have been the answer? Curing the mixture together in a metal box produces a sort of jerky that is very pleasant to the palate. That's the wrong spelling of palate. Chewy with a nutty taste. The usual toughness and bitter flavour of Molerat is completely undetectable. So this seems to work better, and apparently the meat being tough and bitter is sorted out. Further, I find that the meat has restorative properties. A man who eats a meal of this concoction will find himself feeling positively buoyant. That's also spelled wrong. And anxious to move about. I'll be able to charge even more for it than I was originally planning. The only thing left to do is set up shop in one of the towns on the surface. None too soon. These filthy raiders have been my bane, and after these long months I'm as destitute as the worst of them. Odd, that's the alarm. So yeah, there are other journal entries that we can find on a different terminal, so we will get to them. But yeah, so he has found a solution to making the Molerat meat taste better, so we can pick it up. And we've got Molerat Wondermeat. So this is what he has created. There's also loads of Wonder Glue here and Molerat meat, so you can make your own. So let's just have a little look at these. Might as well use these books. Where are we? Yep, so Molerat meat, we can see, gives you HP plus 6 and RADS plus 2. That is slightly different. If you've got the food sanitizer, it's slightly more improved. If you don't, then it's RADS plus 3 and HP plus 5. But if we look at the Molerat Wondermeat, we've got HP plus 20 and it's 24 if you've got the food sanitizer, and RADS plus 2 would normally be plus 3. So quite an improvement in terms of the food item, and as you can see, even the caps value increases. And the good thing about it is that if you take them out, you can make your own. So we've got activate Wonder Meat Maker. So you need one Molerat meat and one Wonder Glue, and you can say yes, and you've created some Wonder Meat. So yeah, so good for selling or using as a sort of reasonably good healing item. So yeah, we can make lots of Molerat Wonder Meat, which is awesome. And we've got the safe, so we've got the last of his savings, some ammo, pre-war money. Nothing too exciting. So that's the reason that you would want to potentially do this, is that you can then turn the kind of rubbish Molerat meat into much better Molerat meat, Wonder Meat. So that's pretty nice. And then obviously they've been kept here. He's been collecting. Let me try that again. I can't speak. Oh, that was a big yawn. There we go. So you can see he's been obviously keeping Molerats here to continue to experiment with different things to make the meat taste better. But he does have another terminal somewhere. Yeah, I think this is it. So yeah, there's some raiders here and some mole rats and some traps. So this is what's been going on. They've been collecting the mole rats from here, trapping them and taking them to be turned into Wonder Meat. So yeah, is it down here? I think it's down here. Yeah, more skeleton. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so yeah, so you can follow the path down into the tunnels, and then you'll find more mole rats and things and the raiders. So here is his other terminal. So that was easy. Good, good, good. There we go. So we've now got some of the archived entries that give us a bit more background. So the mole rats are starting to get more aggressive. I think we'll have to push back our checkpoints a bit to make up for it. I wonder if my experiments with isoprene have somehow triggered their sudden increase in aggression. I wouldn't be so worried about it if I had something to show for it. There's got to be some way to make this meat taste better. Chucky won't shut up about the one he kept as a pet being eaten by the others. I think I'll shoot him. That sort of thing seems to impress these raider types. So we know that he's not really a raider, but he is kind of trying to get in their good books and keep them on side. But this guy has kept the one, and that's the one called Pumpkin. So he's like, I might just take him out. And then we've got the one before that, 86. I introduced a small component of isoprene. Didn't seem to make a difference in taste or composition. I'm not hopeful, but in the next round I'll increase the concentration, if only because the damn stuff is so plentiful. So now we skip ahead quite a bit. So entry 171. I've noticed positive reactions with base dextrin substances. I'll continue testing different forms to see where it leads me. If there was ever a time for a breakthrough, it would be right now. Masquerading as one of these foul murderers grows tiring once the theatrics of it wear off. One thing is true though, we can all be rich if the experiment succeeds. Molerat is one of the easiest meats to get hold of, yet the most disgusting. If I can turn it into a viable food source... And he kind of trails off his thought there. So he's basically staying amongst the raiders because they can help catch the mole rats and kill the mole rats and keep him defended. But he's getting tired of kind of trying to pretend that he is one of them. And then entry 172, quite close now. I'm fairly certain the key ingredient is some form of thermostarch. My next attempt will be using wonder glue. The adhesive component contains a great deal of the stuff. Luckily, we have a small store of the stuff available here, and I'm offering a handful of caps to the raiders for every bottle they can bring me. Those greasy villains are handy when you've got the money. So he's paying the raiders to collect wonder glue for him, as well as trapping and collecting the mole rats. And then we find that he's kind of successful, and he's like, yep, I can charge whatever I want, that's going to be fine. But he says he's destitute, so that's basically the issue, is that he has essentially just about bankrupted himself in order to achieve this experiment to make the mole rat meat taste better. He's spent pretty much all of his caps paying these raiders to collect wonder glue for him. So yeah, it's an interesting one. And it's Jury Street Metro is kind of a central location. It's quite close to some of the kind of important locations in Fallout 3 for the main story. You know, so it's quite near. You could pass by it if you're heading towards Smith Casey's garage or Little Lamplight, and it's south of Vault 106. It's near Evergreen Mills if that was an area that you wanted to head to, you know, if you're hunting behemoths or whatever. So, you know, this place, this location is often a bit of a jumping off point for getting to other locations in the wasteland. So there's a reasonable chance that you'll stumble across this, especially if you are, you know, prone to exploring as you go, which in Fallout 3 you definitely do get rewarded for exploration. You know, there's always things. I mean, we found a couple of skill books here, you know, and we found the Wondermeat maker. So you could just keep using that. If you collect mole rat meat and wonder glue, you can come back and make yourself as much as you want. But the raiders and I believe Ryan Brigg will respawn as well over time. So like a lot of other locations, after a few days in game, enemies will come back, but you can still just come back and use the machine if you want. So that's the story of Ryan Brigg. So you know, it's kind of strange that he's hostile to you, but he's a man with a plan to make the Molerat meat taste better, which he finally succeeded at. Unfortunately, you can't chat to him about it because he is automatically aggressive towards you because he's technically aligned with the Raiders, although from his terminal entries it's clear that he doesn't really want to be associated with the Raiders. He's kind of unhappy about being part of their gang and wants to, as soon as he's achieved what he wanted to do, his plan was to leave and head up to the surface in order to start selling his new Wondermeat. But unfortunately we got in the way of those plans. So it's an interesting little one, and it's an important thing. Obviously I've got a new Thursday series, which you may have seen the first part of, where we're talking about the sort of Wasteland survival guide. So I'm kind of building on what Moira Brown started in this game to get the lowdown on all the kind of important things for survival that we need to talk about in Fallout, because at the end of the day that's one of the main themes of these games, is how humanity survives after the apocalypse and what form does that take, who gets to be in charge, how do people survive when resources are limited, all that kind of stuff. So this week will be water, and then next week we'll be talking about the food stuff as well. So having the ability to make better food that not only provides nutrition but actually tastes better as well is always going to be a nice thing, because finding fresh food in this place is not an easy thing to do. This is the way out. I was getting a bit lost there. But yeah, so you okay? You're kind of stuck in the ground there. But yeah, so lots of Molerats about as well. So if you really want to make more Wondermeat and you've got a stash of Wonder Glue, there's plenty of Molerats about. Although I'd say I have Animal Friend on this character, so all Molerats are friend Molerats, but there's Pumpkin. So yeah, that's the story of Ryan Brigg, the man with a plan to improve the taste and nutritional properties of Molerat meat, which he largely succeeded at. And that gives you an option for new healing item, and there's so much Molerat meat here and blood packs and things, so definitely an interesting one. So yeah, let me know what you thought. Have you found this yourself? Have you used the Wonder Meat Maker, make lots of Wonder Meat? I don't know, I kind of feel like it's kind of a shame that this guy's hostile to you, because I feel like it'd have been much more interesting if he was to then say, look, I'll do you a deal. If you bring me Wonder Glue, then I'll give you some meat, or I'll let you use the machine. Or you could have probably had a more positive interaction with him than the fact that he's automatically hostile because he's a raider. Because there's loads of other characters. There's the girl that wants the sugar bombs for Ultrajet. There's the guy in Megaton that wants the scrap metal for the water system. There's a few characters where you can set up an arrangement where you bring them a certain thing and they'll pay you for it. So I feel like that might have been better with this guy, to have some arrangement like that as an option. But unfortunately the way it is in the game is that you're just forced to kill him because he's hostile, but then you can kind of learn about all his experiments and things. So an interesting little story there. Let me know what you think and hit subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.